The first alarm came without warning. Deep in orbit around Earth, the radar station screamed red, flashing warnings that no human had ever seen before. Captain Elena Ramirez's hands shook slightly as she gripped the edge of the command console. "Unknown object approaching the inner solar system," the voice of the AI intoned. It was fast, too fast. And it was silent, moving with precision that made every human sensor pale in comparison. From the bridge of the orbital station, Elena watched the blip grow larger on the holographic map. At first, everyone thought it was a rogue asteroid. But no asteroid could move like this. No natural object could maneuver so gracefully, so deliberately, with an elegance that made it almost hypnotic. And then it decloaked. The space above Mars shimmered and vanished, revealing a ship so vast and strange that the crew gasped. Its hull was black, almost absorbing the starlight around it. Curved lines ran across it, glowing faintly, as if the vessel itself were alive. It hovered there, silent, as though studying the human fleet scrambling to respond. Elena felt her heart race. "This isn't just a scout," she whispered. This is something else. Something bigger." The world below did not yet know what had appeared in their skies, but Earth's military immediately went on high alert. Fighter jets scrambled, orbital cannons powered up, and every human command station ran simulations to predict the alien ship's next move. But the simulations failed. Nothing humans had ever built could anticipate the silent intelligence of this craft. Hours passed like minutes. Humans watched in fear and awe as the alien vessel remained stationary above Mars. Then, without warning, it transmitted a message. At first, the signal appeared as static, a ripple of strange frequencies, but the AI processed it, translating it into perfect English. "Humans, we fight for you." The message was simple, clear, and yet it shook everyone to their core. There was no name, no explanation, no hint of why an alien ship had crossed galaxies to join humanity. But the promise was unmistakable. They had chosen to intervene in Earth's war. Elena leaned back in her chair, eyes wide. We're not alone." Her voice trembled with hope, but also fear. She knew the war wasn't over yet. A help like this was unimaginable, yes, but the cost of war had never been smaller just because an ally appeared. Below the surface of Earth, in cities and military bunkers, people paused. Some cried, some laughed, some simply stared at the sky. The human heart, fragile but unyielding, understood instinctively that their survival had just gained a chance. A slim, fragile chance, but a chance nonetheless. Yet the alien ship said nothing more. It simply hovered, almost silently, while human fleets adjusted to its presence. Every soldier, every pilot, every civilian watching the skies could feel the tension coil tighter. What enemy could drive a force so immense to intervene in humanity's favor? What kind of threat lurked beyond the stars that would force such power to act? In the orbital station, Elena's eyes were glued to the vessel. She could see its lights flicker like pulse beats, almost as if it were alive, thinking, calculating, waiting. She felt an emotion she had never felt before, an awe mixed with a strange reassurance. Humanity was about to face a war unlike any before, but they might not face it alone. Her comm crackled. "Captain Ramirez, the council is online. They want your assessment." Elena swallowed, took a deep breath, and looked out at the alien ship, its black hull gleaming coldly in the sun. Tell them we may have just met the only ally strong enough to change the course of this war, and we will need every ounce of courage we have." As she spoke, a quiet shiver ran through her. The ship was here, yes, but whether it was salvation or the herald of destruction, no one could say, and the sky above Mars trembled with the arrival of a force humanity could barely comprehend. For hours, the alien ship hung above Mars, silent and still. Human sensors scanned it relentlessly, trying to understand its purpose, its origin, anything at all. But the readings were unlike anything humans had ever recorded. Its technology was beyond imagination, beyond explanation. It did not hum with energy. It seemed to breathe with it as though it were alive. Captain Elena Ramirez stood on the bridge staring at the glowing black vessel. The crew around her whispered among themselves, fear and awe threading through every word. "It hasn't attacked us," murmured one young technician. "Not yet. Why would it come here and just hover?" And then the ship spoke again. This time the message was larger, clearer, and repeated across every communication channel. "Humans, we fight for you. Trust is earned in blood and we see your courage." The words echoed through the stations, reaching ears and hearts across the planet. Humanity stopped. People paused in cities, at work, at home, staring at screens showing the black ship against the red dust of Mars. No human voice had ever sounded, so alien yet so intimate. The message was simple, but it carried weight heavier than mountains. Someone, or something, was choosing to stand with humans in a war they barely understood. General Wei's voice crackled over the comms. "Captain Ramirez, this is unprecedented. We don't know their motives, their strength, or how long they'll stay, but we have to trust them. Prepare to integrate with our defenses." Elena nodded, though a chill ran down her spine. "We'll follow their lead, sir. But we must remain ready. Humanity can't survive if we rely entirely on them. Not yet." Across the solar system, humans mobilized with renewed energy. Fleets formed around Earth and Mars. Engineers worked tirelessly to upgrade defenses, inspired by the possibility of having such a powerful ally. But even as hope swelled, fear lingered like a shadow. What if the alien ship left in the middle of battle? What if it was a trap? Meanwhile, the alien vessel began small gestures of aid. It extended invisible energy fields to shield orbiting stations from cosmic debris and radiation. It disrupted signals of approaching asteroids that could harm human fleets. Every action was precise, efficient, and protective, but always silent, always distant. Lieutenant Aiden Costa, piloting one of Earth's fastest fighters, watched as a squadron of hostile drones approached Mars. "We've got no chance," he shouted, gripping the controls. Then, without warning, the drones froze. Mid-flight, sparks flickering along their metal frames. Moments later, they exploded silently without harming human ships. Aiden's jaw dropped. "They're helping us. They're really helping." Elena felt a strange warmth in her chest. She had seen humans fight and die countless times, but now, for the first time, she felt that maybe, just maybe, survival was possible. Humans were strong, yes, but together with this force, they could endure anything. Still, the alien ship remained mysterious. It offered no names, no explanations, no history. Only protection, only guidance, only a silent promise that it had chosen humanity. And that was enough to inspire hope. The first night after the decloak, Elena stood on the observation deck, looking at Mars and the distant black ship hovering above it. "I don't understand them," she whispered, "but I think they see something in us, something worth saving." Aiden joined her, exhaustion and awe painted across his face. "Maybe it's our courage, our never-give-up spirit. Something that can't be measured by sensors or weapons." Elena nodded. "Yes, we fight with more than tech or firepower. We fight with heart. And perhaps that's what drew them here. Perhaps they saw that humans can rise against impossible odds." Below, Earth slept uneasily, unaware of the full scale of what had arrived. Above, the alien ship pulsed faintly against the red Martian sky. Watching, waiting, choosing allies carefully. Humanity had gained a protector, but the war was just beginning. And already the human heart, fragile, defiant, unstoppable, was preparing for the battles to come. For days, the alien ship stayed above Mars, silent but watchful. Humans began to adjust to its presence, cautiously optimistic. But hope is a fragile thing, easily shattered. The first warning came as a series of blips on Earth's long-range sensors, hundreds of unknown ships moving toward the solar system. Their speed unnatural, their formations precise. Captain Elena Ramirez stared at the displays, her pulse quickening. "They're coming. Whatever this is, it's massive." General Wei's voice came over the comms, tense and urgent. Humanity doesn't stand a chance alone. We've never seen technology like this. Brace yourselves. The ships emerged from the darkness of the asteroid belt, and the humans got their first real glimpse of the enemy. The Zalari, their bodies, were jagged and insectoid, with wings of shimmering metal that glinted in the sunlight. Each vessel looked alive, as if it were an enormous creature rather than a machine. Their formation was terrifying, stretching across millions of kilometers, moving with a terrifying intelligence that made human strategists gasp. "Look at them," whispered Lieutenant Aiden Costa, gripping the controls of his fighter. They're beautiful, in a nightmare kind of way. And deadly." The alien ship above Mars responded instantly. A wave of invisible energy radiated outward, cutting through the Zalari scouts with silent precision. The human ships, small and fragile, followed behind, holding the line as the alien vessel tore through enemy ranks. Humans had never seen anything like it. The Zalari ships dissolved into sparks of energy, often before they could even fire. But the humans quickly realized that the alien power alone would not be enough. For every Zalari ship destroyed, 2 more seemed to take its place. The enemy adapted, spreading faster, learning from every attack. The first wave of panic hit Earth's command centers. Thousands of satellites went offline. Cities trembled as orbital defenses strained under the pressure. Elena's voice rang out across the comms, sharp and commanding. "All units focus on strategy, not fear. Protect the stations. At all costs, we may be fragile, but we are human and we don't give up." Even as the alien ship disabled Zalari vessels with ease, humans began to demonstrate their own strength. Pilots like Aiden weaved through asteroid fields, using human ingenuity and daring tactics that no alien machine could predict. Mines were deployed, feints executed, traps sprung. Humans fought like they always had, with courage, with instinct, and with the relentless will to survive. On the bridge, Elena watched as the alien ship's lights pulsed faster, almost like a heartbeat. She realized something important. The aliens had immense power, yes, but they had never seen beings fight like humans. Every reckless maneuver, every desperate sacrifice, every act of defiance seemed to surprise them. It was as if humans were a force of nature the aliens had never anticipated. Then a massive Zalari dreadnought appeared on the sensors, a monstrous vessel the size of a small moon. Its weapons charged slowly, methodically, a threat that could obliterate human cities in moments. The alien ship engaged, it directly firing beams that carved through its armor. But even that was not enough. The dreadnought adapted, sending shock waves that rattled human ships and shook orbital defenses. Elena swallowed hard, knowing that humanity alone could not withstand such force. "This is it," she whispered. "We'll either rise together or fall alone." Aiden's fighter streaked past her view screen, heading straight for the dreadnought's exposed engines. He was young, reckless, determined. "If this ends badly," he said over the comms, "make sure the world remembers we tried." Elena clenched her fists. Humans were small, humans were fragile, but they were unbroken, unyielding, and ready to fight to the last heartbeat. And above them, the alien ship watched, waited, and began to understand why it had come to this world. For the first time, humans and their alien ally truly faced the reality of war. The enemy had revealed itself, and it was more terrifying than anyone could have imagined. But the courage of the human spirit had also revealed itself, blazing brighter than any weapon, brighter than any star. The battle for Earth had begun. And no matter what came next, humans would fight with everything they had. The Zalari fleet moved like a dark storm, filling the void between Mars and Earth with thousands of jagged ships. The humans were outnumbered, outgunned, and outmatched. But they refused to cower. On the bridge of the orbital station, Captain Elena Ramirez stood tall, her eyes blazing with determination. "We may be small, but we are unbroken. Every ship, every pilot, every soldier, fight like your families are behind you because they are." Lieutenant Aiden Costa's fighter streaked through asteroid belts, dodging the enemy with impossible agility. "They can't predict us," he shouted over the comms, weaving through a swarm of Zalari drones. "They're smart, but we're human. We're unpredictable." The alien ship hovered nearby, its black hull glowing faintly, as if acknowledging the courage of its new allies. Its weapons struck the Zalari with precision, but it allowed humans to act, to maneuver, to learn that even the smallest of them could make a difference. Elena's voice rang across the comms again, calm but fierce. "Focus on strategy. Use your strengths. Don't just survive, fight." Human ingenuity became their greatest weapon. Engineers on Earth hacked old satellites, turning them into makeshift mines. Pilots used asteroid belts as shields, leading Zalari vessels into traps. The human spirit shone in the chaos, fear mixed with courage, desperation mixed with hope. Every act of bravery, every life-risking maneuver, made the alien ship pause and recalibrate. It had never witnessed a species fight with such raw determination. But the Zalari were relentless. One massive ship broke through human defenses and targeted a major orbital station. Explosions shook the bridge as Elena's crew scrambled to respond. The station's shields were failing. Panic rose, but Elena's voice cut through it like steel. "We will not lose, not today, not ever." Aiden, noticing the danger, made a split-second decision. He piloted his fighter directly into the Zalari, ship's weak points, his engines blazing like a comet. "For Earth," he yelled, triggering an explosion that rocked the enemy vessel, buying precious minutes for the station to repair its shields. Around the solar system, humans sacrificed, adapted and endured. Small fighters darted between massive Zalari cruisers, deploying mines, launching missiles, and drawing fire away from civilian zones. Every loss was tragic, but every action inspired the next. Humans refused to yield. Elena felt a strange mix of fear and pride. Humans were fragile. Their weapons were primitive compared to the alien ship. Yet they fought with a fierceness no AI, no superweapon could replicate. She realized the alien vessel had not come merely to protect. They were here because humans had something unique, a spirit that refused to be broken. Even the alien ship seemed to acknowledge it. Its massive energy beams now moved more precisely, not just destroying enemies but protecting human fighters. It no longer acted as a lone weapon, it acted in harmony with the humans. Together, their combined strategy became devastating, but the cost was visible everywhere. Smoke trailed from damaged fighters. Satellites had fallen. The orbital station shuddered from impacts. And yet, humanity endured. Every human life mattered. Every heartbeat counted. Every act of courage rippled through the fleet like a spark, igniting hope even in the darkest hours. Elena looked out at the red haze of Mars below, its surface scarred by earlier battles. "We're fragile," she whispered. "But we're alive. And as long as we are, we fight." And fight they did. Not with the precision of machines, not with the cold logic of the alien vessel, but with heart, with soul, with the raw, unpredictable strength that made humans human. Above them, the alien ship pulsed almost like a heartbeat, moving in tandem with human courage. Together, humans and their mysterious ally had begun to turn the tide. The war for Earth had entered a new phase. And for the first time, the human heart burned as fiercely as any weapon in the galaxy. The calm of the solar system shattered as the Zalari dreadnought appeared on the edge of Earth's orbit. It was enormous, larger than any human city, its hull jagged and dark, pulsing, with dangerous energy. Every sensor screamed a single word: annihilation. The fleet froze, knowing that one strike from this ship could wipe out entire cities on Earth. Captain Elena Ramirez gripped the console, her knuckles white. "All units focus. Protect the planet at all costs." Her voice was steady, but inside, fear gnawed at her. The humans had fought bravely, but now the stakes were higher than ever. The alien ship hovering above Mars responded immediately. Energy beams shot across space, striking the dreadnought with precision, but the enemy was relentless. Its shields absorbed the strikes, barely flinching. Lieutenant Aiden Costa, his fighter scarred from previous battles, zoomed past the station, his heart pounding. "We can't just hide," he yelled. "If this thing reaches Earth, everything is gone." He was right. Humanity could not withstand a frontal assault from the dreadnought. Something had to be done, and fast. Elena realized then that humans had to act, not just fight. "We'll hit it where it's weakest," she commanded, scanning the dreadnought's sensors. "Engage the engines. Target every vulnerable point we can reach." Aiden took a deep breath and nodded. He wasn't just fighting for himself. He was fighting for families, for friends, for the planet itself. With a roar, he dove straight toward the enormous ship, weaving through its defenses, dodging energy blasts that could vaporize his fighter in an instant. His mission was almost impossible, but humans had never backed down from the impossible. Other pilots followed, inspired by his courage. They darted between enemy fire, sacrificing their own safety to draw attention away from civilian zones. Mines detonated near the dreadnought's hull, shaking it violently. Explosions rippled across its surface, but it adapted quickly, sending shockwaves that rattled the human fleet. The alien ship adjusted its fire pattern, striking only where the humans could not reach, while still protecting them from the worst attacks. It became clear that this was no ordinary ally. It was learning from humans, learning to fight with them rather than for them. Elena's eyes welled with tears as she watched the human fleet act as one. "We may be small," she whispered, "but we are unstoppable when we fight together." Each act of bravery, each desperate maneuver, created cracks in the dreadnought's defenses. Every human life mattered, and every life risked inspired the others to keep pushing forward. Aiden's fighter reached the engine core of the dreadnought. He aimed carefully, knowing this could be his last moment. "For Earth!" he shouted, firing his missiles directly into the ship's weak point. The explosion was massive, shaking the dreadnought violently. Its shields flickered. The alien ship unleashed its full energy, striking the same point simultaneously. For the first time, the dreadnought faltered. Sparks flew, hull plates ruptured, and the massive ship shuddered in the void. Humans cheered, even as they realized the fight was far from over. The Zalari had lost their first major vessel, but they were far from defeated. Elena took a deep breath, relief mixing with exhaustion. "We can do this," she said softly. "We can survive. We can fight, and we can win." The alien ship pulsed, almost like a heartbeat, as if acknowledging the humans' courage. It had come to fight for them, yes, but it had also come to learn that humanity's strength was not measured in weapons or technology. It was measured in heart, in spirit, and in an unbreakable will to endure. Below, Earth remained unaware of how close it had come to disaster. Above, the human and alien alliance had proven something powerful. Even the smallest, most fragile species could shine in the darkest moments. The dreadnought was only the beginning, but humanity had already shown it would not bow. The war for Earth raged on, but for the first time, hope burned brighter than fear. The battlefield above Earth stretched endlessly, a chaotic dance of fire and steel. The Zalari fleet, once so confident, now faltered under the combined force of human courage and the alien ship's power. Every strike from the humans, every maneuver, complemented the alien vessel's devastating energy blasts. Together they created a rhythm that the Zalari could not anticipate. Captain Elena Ramirez watched the displays with a mix of awe and exhaustion. Human pilots risked everything, diving through asteroid belts, drawing fire, and setting traps for the enemy. Engineers on Earth remotely guided satellites into collision courses, turning broken space debris into weapons. "Keep pushing," Elena commanded. "Every strike counts. Every life counts." Lieutenant Aiden Costa flew his fighter like a comet, weaving between enemy vessels with fearless precision. His wings of fire cut through Zalari drones, his determination a blazing symbol for every human fighter in orbit. "We fight because we must, because Earth needs us," he yelled over the comms, each word carrying hope and defiance. The alien ship adjusted its energy beams to protect these brave pilots, moving as though it were dancing with them, anticipating their actions and enhancing their attacks. The Zalari were strong, relentless, and terrifying, but the humans had a secret weapon no technology could replicate: heart. And the alien ship seemed to understand that now, recognizing the value of human unpredictability, courage, and spirit. But the victory was not without cost. Explosions rocked the orbital stations. Fighters burned and disintegrated in fiery streaks. Each loss brought pain, grief, and fear, but also resolve. Humans adapted, learned, and struck back harder, fueled by the knowledge that they were fighting for home, for family, for the right to survive. Elena's eyes fell on Aiden as he dodged a barrage from a massive Zalari cruiser. "Don't falter," she called. Her voice trembled, not with fear but with pride. The humans were fragile, yes, but they were unstoppable in spirit. Each pilot's sacrifice became a spark, igniting courage in others, spreading through the fleet like wildfire. The alien ship pulsed brighter now, its hull almost glowing with energy. It was as if it were cheering, learning, and synchronizing with the humans. Together, they struck at the Zalari's largest vessels, hitting critical points, dismantling shields, and forcing the enemy into retreat. The tide had turned. On Earth, people watched the skies with bated breath, seeing bursts of light that marked both destruction and hope. Families held each other tight, praying for the brave souls above. Soldiers cheered in command centers as reports of enemy losses poured in. Humanity was holding, surviving, fighting back. Elena felt a surge of emotion she had never experienced before. "They came for us," she whispered, looking at the black alien ship. "But they stayed because they see what we are. We are small, fragile, but unbroken. We are humans." Aiden's voice crackled over the comms. "Captain, we did it. They're pulling back. They're retreating." Elena smiled, tears welling in her eyes. "Not because they're weak," she said softly, "but because we are strong, because we fight together. Humanity does not just survive. We rise." The Zalari ships retreated beyond Mars, their jagged silhouettes disappearing into the void. The alien ship hovered over the battlefield, silent and watchful once more. It had proven its power, yes, but it had also learned something it might never have expected: that humans, small and fragile as they seemed, were a force to be reckoned with. For the first time in generations, Earth exhaled as one. Cities lit up with celebrations, yet hearts remained vigilant. Humanity had survived a threat no one had imagined, but it had done so not alone, and not without cost. The unity of two species, human courage and alien might, had changed the course of history. Elena stood on the observation deck, gazing at the retreating enemy. "We fought together," she whispered, "and we survived together. Today we showed the galaxy what it means to be human." And above the red horizon of Mars, the black alien ship pulsed once more, a silent acknowledgement of partnership, respect, and hope. Humanity had learned a powerful truth. When courage and heart unite with strength beyond imagination, even the impossible can be achieved. The aftermath of the battle stretched across the solar system like a scar. Ships, both human and Zalari, floated silent and broken among the stars. Fires flickered on orbital stations and communication lines crackled with static. But above it all, the alien ship hovered, massive and dark, a silent guardian, witnessing the resilience of humanity. "Captain." Elena Ramirez stood on the bridge, her uniform scorched, her hands shaking from exhaustion. Around her, crews wiped away tears, embraced and whispered prayers of gratitude. Humanity had survived. Against impossible odds, against an enemy that had conquered countless worlds, Earth had endured, and it was not alone. Lieutenant Aiden Costa returned from a scouting mission, his fighter battered but intact. He looked at Elena, breathing heavily. We did it. We really did it." His voice trembled, both from relief and the memory of those they had lost. Elena nodded, her gaze fixed on the alien ship hovering silently above Mars. "Not just us," she said. "It wasn't only human courage. It was our ally, the ship, the species we don't even know. They came for us. And they stayed because they saw what we are. The humans began repairing their stations, rebuilding what had been damaged and sending messages of hope across the planet. Cities lit up with cautious celebration, fireworks igniting the night skies. For the first time in years, children slept, without fear, and parents dared to hope again. But the true impact of the battle went beyond mere survival. Humanity had proven something to the galaxy, and to themselves. Elena walked to the observation deck, looking out at Mars and the black, alien ship. Its lights pulsed faintly, almost like a heartbeat, a silent acknowledgement of everything humanity had done. For weeks it had acted as protector, observer, and guide, but now it seemed to wait, as if understanding that its role in this war had changed. Humanity had earned something that even this incredible being respected. Survival earned through courage, ingenuity, and unbreakable spirit. Aiden joined her, leaning on the railing. "Do you think they'll stay?" he asked quietly. Elena shook her head slowly. "I don't know. Maybe they will. Or maybe they'll move on, searching for another world in need. But they've shown us what's possible, and they've shown the universe what humans are capable of." For the first time, Earth looked truly alive. Ships moved with purpose, people rebuilt, and the solar system, though scarred, still thrummed with hope. Humanity had not only survived, it had inspired a legend. Even the alien ship, a being of unimaginable power, had learned something from humans. That courage, determination, and the refusal to surrender could overcome impossible odds. The stars shone brighter that night, as if acknowledging the bravery of a small, fragile species that refused to be broken. Elena thought of the lives lost, of the pilots, the engineers, the soldiers, and the ordinary people who had held on. Each sacrifice had mattered. Each heartbeat had been precious. Humanity had faced annihilation and survived because it had dared to fight together. Finally, Elena spoke into the silence, her voice soft but strong. "We fought with everything we had. We endured. We rose. Today, humanity has proven that no matter how small we seem, no matter the power of our enemies, we can stand, we can resist, and we can triumph." The alien ship pulsed once more, a silent signal almost like applause. Then slowly it began to rise, drifting away from Mars, its mission complete. But its presence, its lessons, and its acknowledgement would stay with humanity forever. And as the sun rose over Earth, casting golden light over cities and oceans, humans stood together, weary but unbroken. They had faced a galaxy of horrors. They had fought beside a power beyond imagination, and they had survived. A new dawn had arrived, not just for Earth but for the human spirit. Humanity had entered a larger universe, scarred but stronger, fragile but indomitable, ready to face whatever the stars would send next. And above, the alien ship vanished into the cosmos, leaving humanity with one undeniable truth. Together, with courage and heart, even the impossible could be overcome.